smell? Is it cheese? Is it fish? Who the hell knows what it is?
This show deals with the 9 to 5, the late night, and the graveyard shift that all you people do just to have a roof over your head. Even though I'll talk about something serious, it's meant to be entertaining, and I hope you think so. So let's get to it. Tonight's first topic is getting revenge. Should you get back at that jackass boss that screwed you over? I'm sure this is a topic that some people dream about. How do I get back at that jackass boss that screwed me over? Hell, I've dreamed about the same thing many times because I've had many bosses screw me over. My favorite personal screwing over story was when I was working for a meat company as a delivery driver, and at the same time writing screenplays, thinking I was going to get my big break in at Hollywood. Anyways, we're not going to talk about the Hollywood pipe dream that never happened, only about the boss that screwed me over. I had a vacation planned and asked my boss a year in advance to take a week off. Pretty normal stuff, right? I had a trip planned where I was going to go fly out to Hollywood for a pitch fest, which is a meet and greet with possible agents and producers to shop my screenplays. I paid $1,500 for the pitch fest alone and around another $3,000 for everything else, food, airfare, hotel, and planned to be there most of the week. All was good up until a few days when I was set to fly out, and my boss comes up to me, who is also the owner's son, and we all know how worthless they are, and says, "Sorry, Scott, we're shorthanded. We can't let you off next week." This would have been fine if he would have given me some notice, so I didn't drop $4,000 on something I've been dreaming about for years. When I looked him in the eyes, I wanted to stick my fist through his face. He didn't offer to help me recoup my losses when I told him how much I'd spent on the trip. It was all or nothing. Mind you, I was driving a $900 car at the time and could have used that $4,000 to get something a lot better if I'd known he was going to pull this shit. I finished the conversation giving him my notice that day, knowing that meant I'd be going on a pitch fest in Hollywood, hoping to make my dreams happen, and would be coming back to no job and a $900 car on its last legs. The pitch fest led to nothing, and I did come back to no job and a car that took a shit the same day in the airport parking lot after I got off the plane. Did I have dreams of blowing up the company and savagely carving up the boss? Sure, but I didn't do it. When I come back from a break, I'm going to talk about a weak-ass, wussy, non-revenge solution.
Is it cheese? Is it fish? Who the hell knows what it is? Who the hell knows what it is? Who the hell knows what it is?
You might be asking, Scott, if this is such a weak-ass solution, why should I do it? Because I want you people to keep your jobs. These other podcasters don't care if you get shit canned, but I do. Let me say this first. I don't condone any violence or evil toward any boss that did you ill will. And why would you want to lower yourself to their level of scumbaggery anyways? While it's fun to imagine what your jackass boss might look like if you ran him over 30 times with your Honda, you really don't want to do that because handcuffs hurt when you're sitting in the back of a squad car. Forbes magazine had an interesting article called "The Absolute Best Way to Get Revenge at Work," which was authored by David Sturt and Todd Nordstrom. The article lists a 3-step approach which tries to use a non-revenge spin. And I hate to say this, but if you want to keep that job, you might want to try these methods. Step 1. Blissful ignorance. Basically, what they're saying here is don't give your boss's bullying any mileage and ignore their intimidation. A lot of time bullying is done for the reaction it receives. Step 2. Unrestrained kindness. Wow, I know. Kindness at that crappy place I work at. They say to put yourself in the bully's place. Maybe they're being hurt by not being appreciated themselves, and they could feel threatened by you and how good you are at your job. Involve your boss in your work by saying, "Hey, I respect your input. Can you look at something for me?" Which could totally transform the relationship you have with your boss. Step 3, absolute success. If the first 2 steps don't work, try to be the best you can be and drive them crazy with your success. I guess what this article is really saying is that the best revenge is no revenge at all. That's weak, isn't it? And now we've got to play nice just to keep a roof over our head. I know I've wussed out on this one, but I don't want any of you people getting arrested because of me or living in a dumpster. No other podcasters care about you like I do. Most podcasters want you to do crazy stuff, so the podcast will be crazy. When I come back from a break, let's talk about the main thing that makes your boss a jackass, and a list that can make your jackass boss into a human being. Well, that's impossible because all bosses are jackasses, right? No, that would be wrong. Only a majority of them are jackasses. No, that would be wrong. Let's just say some of them are jackasses. Even though we're afraid to admit it, bosses are people just like us, and they hurt when you poke them with a stick.
Your coworker smell. Is it cheese? Is it fish? Who the hell knows what it is?
From what I've read from a lot of these articles, the major issue that most people have with their bosses is bullying. According to an online article in the New Yorker magazine in a section called "It is called the Cut." I am so sophisticated because I read the New Yorker. Oui, oui. Authored by Carl Rahm. He talked to an organizational psychologist named Harvey Hornstein, who years earlier had said that he found that 90% of employees had suffered abuse from a supervisor at some point in their career in the forms of humiliation, power-based mind games, and being blamed for the supervisor's mistakes, which are all forms of bullying. The more I've read from all these different sites, most list a major option as quitting if you have a boss that bullies you. Well, I guess if the boss is some kind of whack job, like the boss I had, and you can't reason with them, like using the non-revenge list I mentioned, then you might be in this position. I Googled how to be a better boss, and half the online articles talked about how to be more effective instead of focusing on how to make the boss more of a human being. So I only focused on articles that actually talked about making bosses better people. Now, I did like a list I found from Indeed.com named the 12 Qualities of a Good Boss. And to me, you should use this in what to look for in your next boss. It could be hard to find these qualities out once you start the new job, but you could always ask other people that work at the place first before taking the job. But honestly, if any boss had all these qualities, they would be Jesus. If the boss is hitting half of these, to me, they're a pretty good boss. Number 1, passionate. A passionate employer can make your surroundings more enjoyable. I would say as long as you share their passion for the workplace. Number 2, consistent. Sets clear expectations and is upfront about what they want. Consistency means everyone will be treated fairly with no favorites. Unfortunately, a boss will always have their favorites. We all know parents have a favorite kid. Number 3, cool-headed. A boss that can remain calm is effective. Out of all the millions of jobs I've had, I've only run into one boss that remained cool-headed all the time. Number 4, personable. A boss that asks about your personal life, like family and hobbies, shows they care about you as an individual. Do you really want to share all that with your boss? Could they try to use that against you later? Number 5, open-minded. A boss should be open-minded and consider suggestions from other employees. I've never run into this ever. Most bosses will let you vent, but want you to toe the company line, even though you might have a suggestion. Number 6, attentive. A good employer uses effective listening skills and avoids interrupting others. Well, this might be letting the employees vent again. To me, listening means absorbing what employees have to say, which doesn't happen enough. Number 7, humble. A boss willing to admit their mistakes so you can learn from them. Good idea. Never happened to me. I don't think this exists. Number 8, decisive. Making decisions to keep production moving along. This is the one skill that all companies demand from their supervisors. And I will say I've never had a supervisor afraid to say, "Get back to work, stupid." Number 9, honest. To build trust with employees, a boss must be honest. Well, bosses will be honest to a point, but most guard company info between their butt cheeks, so you'll never get the whole story. Number 10, motivating. A boss needs to understand what motivates you towards the company's overall mission. Most use fear. Basically, do this or you're fired. Bosses all have their tricks to motivate employees, so dance like a dog on your hind legs for the treat. Number 11, appreciation. A boss needs to express appreciation to employees through a verbal thank you or with awards. To me, this is the simplest one that gets missed everywhere. Is it that hard to tell someone they're doing a good job? No, and it doesn't cost the company a dime. Number 12, aware. Knowing each employee's strengths and weaknesses. I think all bosses know this one the best because they need to know which employee can complete a task quickly. Like I said before, I like this list, but it's more of a dream list instead of reality. I remember one boss out of all the shitty jobs I've ever had who hit a majority of these on the list. In conclusion, just don't work a lot of crappy jobs like I did, then you won't have crappy bosses. And going back to the earlier point, it's not a good idea to get revenge on your boss because you'll probably get caught, fired, and possibly arrested. Also, good luck using that place as a reference for the next job. In the second part of the show, I'll be talking about some of the most dangerous jobs in the world, and some jobs listed in the deep, dark internet. I'm not sure if they're real, but they are real interesting. Now a word from the National Council for Travel. Chicago has always been one of my favorite places to visit, whether sporting events are your thing, enjoying all the great food, or just taking in the sights and maybe doing a little shopping downtown. Chicago always has something to offer. If you decide to drive there, remember Chicago has no speed limits and the speeds will exceed 100 miles per hour on the expressways. That's why, to avoid a high-speed crash, I'd recommend that you have an AI-powered, self-driving vehicle that can communicate with the other vehicles on the expressways. To me, it's unfortunate that the charm of the cabbie has left Chicago because of the introduction of the BB5, a 5-gauge shotgun that can separate limbs with a single blast. You'll be happy to know that most self-driving auto cabs in Chicago are now bulletproof. And if gambling is your sort of thing, you're in luck. Illinois allows gambling everywhere. So don't be surprised to see slot machines at the first coffee house you stop at. Many tourists, along with myself, are overjoyed that Illinois allows smoking in all buildings, even hospitals, and a deal with tobacco companies. And just in time comes the introduction of the Big Sig, a cigarette the size of a cigar with 10 times the nicotine of a normal cigarette. So smoke up, Chicago. But keep this in mind, Chicago's local laws are changing. Local insurance companies now scan specially designed fitness bands that monitor one's daily lifestyle. So if you're pulled over and you don't have a fitness band, you'll need to have a current out-of-state ID to avoid being taken to a detox facility. I hope my tips come invaluable when you visit Chicago, because the Windy City is truly one of the most unique places in America. This ad was brought to you by Speedfitters, a book about America and the world of Chicago in the year 2048. Speedfitters can be found at barnesandnobles.com and many other online outlets.
Your coworker smells, is it cheese? Is it fish? Who the hell knows what it is? Your coworker smells, is it cheese? Is it fish? Who the hell knows what it is? Who your coworker smells? Is it cheese? Is it fish? Who the hell knows what it is? Your coworker smells, is it cheese? Is it fish? Who the hell knows what it is? Your coworker's what it is.
I was watching these roofers thinking about how dangerous that job must be. Wouldn't it be just too easy to slip and fall? It's gotta be one of the most dangerous jobs. And I was right. According to U.S. labor statistics, roofers have the fifth highest rate of work-related deaths. I remember when I was a kid and my dad worked construction, which comes in at number 17 in the ranking of the most dangerous. He did masonry and was pouring a form on a large building when a load of bricks fell on him from 5 stories up, which is all I remember from what happened. He never wanted to talk about the accident while he was still alive. He was lucky to survive the accident, but had back problems from his late 30s until he died. When I was small, I'll never forget how he'd always ask me to walk on his back to loosen it up. It sucks that men and women put their lives on the line daily just to make the world work. I looked up what is considered the most dangerous job in the world, and the consensus points at logging. They operate heavy machinery in steep, uneven terrain, not to mention working with chainsaws and watching for falling trees. We all know people that do these dangerous jobs, but we don't thank them enough. So if you know someone that does a dangerous job, buy them a beer for me. Just make sure you don't buy them too many before their shift starts. This topic kept tweaking my interest, so I took a deep dive into the internet, searching its crevasses, and came up with some unusual jobs. Now, this is the deep, dark internet, mind you, so I don't even know if these jobs are real. So when I come back from a short break, I'm going to talk about these jobs I found in the deep, dark internet.
Your coworker smell, is it cheese? Is it fish? Who the hell knows what it is?
The first deep, dark internet job I came across was vacuum suction apprentice. The job description for this is interesting. A vacuum suction apprentice's job is to make sure whatever appliance that gives suction when applied to parts of the human body can be released safely when applying a certain amount of force to remove the object that applies the suction. The danger comes in when the appliance doesn't release its suction or can't be removed when force is applied. The results were quite disturbing, and I stopped looking at the pictures people had posted. One guy had so many red circles on his body, he looked like a demented leopard, and those circles are permanent. Europe and Japan have outlawed the practice of using humans for suction, relying on computers to give them accurate suction results, even though everyone now says their vacuums suck at sucking. The king of suction Mort McCleary used to have videos all over the internet showing him getting sucked until they were banned a few years ago. He never responded to my emails for an interview, which sucked. Mort made millions and only allowed one part of his body to be sucked, which was never revealed. He retired shortly after other countries followed Europe and Japan's lead in the stop of mechanical sucking. The second job I found was nuclear waste haste tester. This job came about post World War II, obviously. But what is really interesting is that the practice is still going on today. My question is the purpose for this occupation. Well, in order for someone to know if you have nuclear waste in your favorite beverage, that person has to know what nuclear waste tastes like. Another thing that was interesting to me is that certain people have more of a tolerance of nuclear waste than others. People with brown hair can tolerate more nuclear waste in a beverage and won't immediately start glowing green like someone with blonde or red hair. Again, Europe and Japan have said that they will outlaw the practice of nuclear waste consumption at the upcoming talks at Munich in 2025. Meanwhile, officials in North America have said that nuclear waste will only be consumed under supervision and will never be mixed with alcohol. It should be said that this show does not condone the consumption of any nuclear waste, not even with supervision and especially with alcohol. Now, I remember seeing black and white footage of this next dangerous occupation, pit bull wrestler. The object when you are a pit bull wrestler is to somehow take a beef bone away from the pit bull without it biting you, which, from what I've watched from black and white footage, is impossible. I don't know why they ever labeled this as a dangerous occupation, because to me, this is always an illegal underground sport. Pit bull wrestling is still legal in some counties of Florida. And this next occupation makes the word dangerous sound tame. Cobra, dentist. It was hard doing research for this occupation because the videos were in every language but English. Thank God for online translators. To me, it's got to be hard to tell when a cobra has a cavity in one of its fangs. But these experts know. When a cobra continuously tilts his head to one side, especially 5 times in a minute, it has pain in that fang, probably in the form of a cavity. God bless the people caring for the creatures that want to kill us. North America has created many positions for rattlesnake dentists, but most of them go unfilled, and no one knows why. So we are currently importing the services of cobra dentists in this country to deal with rattlesnake cavities. Now, this next occupation had some interesting videos online until they all mysteriously disappeared last week. Shock collar tester. I haven't personally known anyone to use a shock collar for human use, but a friend of mine once had one for his dog to keep it in the yard. I couldn't find anyone online that could tell me the purpose of humans using shock collars, but there are many people who test them. Most of the videos I've seen take place in Europe at house parties and raves. People would be dancing, wearing the shock collars, and would press a button on something that looked like a garage door opener and would start dancing twice as fast. The strangest part of this whole occupation is that companies were allowing their employees to take their shock collars home during COVID, which is how all these partygoers came about them, stealing the equipment from these workers' cars. Now, shock collar testing is done under rigorous government standards. This is the last dangerous job I'm going to talk about, and thank God they found a solution to this incredibly dangerous occupation. Honey badger hole monitor. I'm not even going to comment on the videos that you can only find on the deep dark web. I'm just happy that this practice is no longer allowed. Since this show is coming to you from the state of Wisconsin, which is considered the badger state. I have personal knowledge that this practice was done by farmers in the 1800s, but was promptly stopped in 1924 when Jacob Lacoma of Minocqua, Wisconsin, decided to stick his head in a badger hole instead of his hand. It didn't go well for poor Jacob. This practice was mostly used by scientists who monitored the lovemaking activities of the honey badger. They would routinely stick their hands in the hole and would yank it out before the honey badger would latch on. Many scientists realized, after losing many fingers, that a simple solution was to leave a chicken hot dog next to the opening, waiting for the honey badger to come up and snatch it. Honey badger found. So, whether you have a real dangerous job or a shady, dark web, fake internet one, we all thank you for what you do. Just remember that all you crybabies that work in an office and start bawling when you get a paper cut, think if you had to stick your hand in a honey badger hole. Your paper cut would be gone because your arm would be one big chicken hot dog for that honey badger. All right, everybody, this is the end of the show. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Now for some cool closing music. The sound effects for today's show were supplied by Pixabay.com.
Your coworker smell. Is it cheese? Is it fish? Who the hell knows what it is? Your coworker smells. Is it cheese? Is it fish? Who the hell knows what it is? Hey, your coworker smells. Is it cheese? Is it fish? Who the hell knows what it is? Who the hell knows what it is? Who the hell knows what it is?
It is called the cut. I am so sophisticated because I read the New Yorker. Oui, oui.